What's going on, everyone? This is Sarge, and you're watching some gameplay on Large Conquest Back to Conquest expansion, the map Wake Island. For those of you who aren't aware what Large Conquest is, it's a lot bigger than your normal standard Conquest games. I believe console, if you're playing Conquest on this map, you're going to have 3 flags, but in this situation, we're dealing with 5. And I believe on Back to Conquest maps, there's between 5 to 7 different flags. On vanilla mode, which is the regular Battlefield 3 games, you can have up to 5 maps, or 5 flags, sorry. And it's just the maps are a lot larger in scale because of that. The servers are going to be up to 64 players at times, and because you're dealing with a lot more people, there's going to be a lot more action going on, and obviously a lot more flags to capture. So the overall experience is just the same Battlefield game, just at a larger scale. And this is only on computer, PC. I believe you don't have the option available for consoles. They haven't made that. I think you're only limited to so many players per server, per map, and it's unfortunate. But I always encourage many of you guys, or many players who want the full Battlefield experience on PC, or the full Battlefield experience in general, is to get it on PC and to play Large Conquest, because that's how originally, when the game first came out with 1942, it was designed around large-scale sandbox maps, as you can see in the situation. Wake Island being one of the more interesting maps. It's one of the originals from 1942. I know many of you guys know that, but for those of you who don't, this was basically what started it all. And it's great to see DICE do a lot of redesigning with the previous maps, bringing back to Karkand onto the Battlefield 3 scene and dedicating it to the veteran players. But a little bit I want to talk about the gameplay that you see me here. We started it off as, this is an assault conquest game. How it begins is the enemy spawns with all flags captured in their favor. And our team had to, our objective is to basically infiltrate the island and try to capture the flags. Now we start off with more tickets than the enemy, which gives us it balances the game out, because the enemy already starts off with each flag converted. And the more flags you hold, the more points you're going to be getting in the game, and the more likely you are to win the game. You want to capture as many flags as you can. So playing the objective in this game mode is very important, and one thing that I like to capitalize on when I'm playing a game like this, especially when you're joining random pub servers, is to capitalize on particular flags. And in this case, you're seeing me and a buddy of mine control C, the flag capture C, which is their airfield. It's the enemy's airfield and has the most vehicles there. And by holding C, we're actually disabling the enemy from controlling the air, because they have their jets that spawn there, they have air vehicles, a chopper, a fighter pilot, and it just being able to control the airfield disables the enemy from using air to their advantage. So we get to actually form a sandwich where we compile the enemy to force them to not use air, and then we get to actually control everything in the game. So it's a very important flag, and that is sort of the thing between Conquest games like this, is controlling a certain flag is vital to the enemy, and you want to be able to hold that at all times. And there's just a lot of action that's going to be happening here at sea. Other Conquest maps, it's about the same thing too, being able to capitalize on certain flags. When you're in a competitive match, it's also the same thing, is you want to hold important flags. If you're playing Metro, which I know is a very common map to be played in competitive games, it's controlling that B flag, and if you hold that B, you're going to win the rest of the game. This is the same case you're seeing here. You hold C, the airfield, you're going to control the rest of the game. And my buddy and I were communicating here back and forth, and I'm using the tank because the tank here is an important role to holding C flag. It's the only tank that spawns there, and I'm using the tank, and we're calling out shots where the enemy's at. He's my gunner. He's my eyes that I'm not looking at when I'm firing at enemies. He's giving me another perspective, another viewpoint, and repairing my vehicle at the same time. So communication is key here, and this is a very difficult thing right now with the game, because a lot of people are having a difficult time trying to work together, because there's no in-game voice, there's no commander mode for Battlefield 3. It makes it hard to just jump in a pub game if you're just solo queuing a game yourself. and to get your team to work together, you can't really communicate well with them. So I find that it's a lot more easier, stress relieving, if you just find a role to pick and then stick to it. And I'm running support kit right now, and I have the weapon of choice that I'm using is the P90 with silencer and the Magnum rifle or pistol. The reason why I use the silencer here is because it's keeping me off the radar when I'm firing the weapon. Without a silencer, you're going to be showing up every time you shoot your gun, and because I'm holding a point where it requires me to be in a lot of close quarter situations, having the silencer keeps me more stealthy. So I wouldn't recommend a lot of players out there who have just adopted the silencer method to get used to very comfortable with it, because DICE did tweet out, or they did do an update saying that they were going to patch the silencer, making it less a lot more recoil, less accurate. So it's only for, in this situation, just to keep myself from being on the enemy's radar at all times. So it's a good thing to get you know, just to try out, but I wouldn't get too comfortable with it. And as you see me here, again, using the tank, infiltrating, going in and trying to recapture the flag. They end up, we kind of struggle, kind of tug of war here. The enemy takes the C, the flag, they hold it, and then we have to come back and take it back. And then as we take it, they push us out and then retake it again. So we're fighting the enemy, trying to hold the C point, because they know, as just as we do, that holding this position is vital to the overall game, winning of the game. And another point that I like to make when playing the objective is how important it is to stick to that, over trying to get as many kills as you can, because there's a lot of players out there that have adopted this philosophy that if you get a lot of kills, you're going to win the game. That's not the case with Battlefield 3. And I know there's, you know, some of you, a lot of you guys know that, but some of you who don't understand how Battlefield works, it's centered around not only teamwork, but also controlling and playing your part and role in the game. And a very big part of that is playing your objective, whether you're playing Rush and you're wanting to go in and take MCOMs, or defend them, or playing Conquest where you want to take a flag and hold points. Now I know many people who like to be in the action all the time. They like to take a flag, then just kind of move around the map. That's typical for when you're on the defensive side, but when you're attacking, especially in an assault game, and you're dealing with such a large server of players, you just go in, take a flag, and hold it. Hold it. Find the ones that are very important to hold. You know, every back to Karkan has lots of different flags, especially in large conquests. Find flags that are very, you know, that are very clutched right in the center of the heart of your enemy, and capture those flags and hold them. I'm using claymores here because it's a very good way to kind of tripwire the enemy into thinking that, you know, that they have the flag. As you see there, my claymores are actually killing the enemy, and it alerts me that there's more people probably going to take that objective, especially when I'm solo or trying to solo the flag, where I'm the only one trying to hold the position, while my teammates going out taking the other flag. So that's a large suggestion for you guys. Definitely try that when you're playing the game. If you're solo queuing a game of large conquest, or whether you're playing just regular conquest in general. There's 3 flags on console, I know that, but I'm not exactly sure how the strategy would work if you're playing on console, but I do know that if it's the airfield, you're going to want to control that. A couple of information or news for those of you who aren't aware of what's been going around the web lately is Congress in our society, U.S. government, has tried to pass a bill called SOPA or PIPA. If you don't know exactly what those are, I'm going to have links in the bottom of what that exactly is. It's basically censoring what you do on the internet. The government wants to have full control of that. And there was a law or there's going to be a law or a bill passed within the next 2 days where people are going to, it's all internal voting by the Congress, where they vote if this bill should be passed. So far, just a couple days ago, it was in favor of the SOPA bill, where they wanted it passed, but just recently, because of the community speaking out and ruling against it, Congress has then decided in favor of not passing it, which is a really good thing. I think our community has done a great job in standing up for this bill. So definitely look into that. Call your representatives, let them know that you are not in favor of the SOPA bill or PIPA being passed, or any other bill that might come out in the near future that wants to censor what you do on the internet. Thanks again for watching. I am live streaming now. That's something new. I will provide a live stream link that you can check out here. And I will always do constant updates on when I do live streaming in my Twitter, so you're going to have to follow my Twitter account if you want to see current updates of when I do this. It'll be random games or Battlefield 3 and Bad Company 2. So check that out when you guys want to. I will check you guys out later. Thanks again for watching. Take care.